Picture this. You're working in a company, your boss assigned you to this huge project. You put a lot of effort in. You're driving things forward. You're researching everything that needs to be researched. You prepare materials to be spread around the company. You start communicating with everyone. You get everyone engaged. You basically get everyone motivated in the idea, hey, we are doing this. You have this big presentation day. You're just chilling in front of your computer and a message from your boss comes. Hey, cancel the presentation. We're dropping this. What do you mean we're dropping this? Why are we dropping this? Well, the company has decided to go in a different direction. We don't think it's a good idea business-wise. Can you imagine the feeling that you would have? Probably not a very nice one. You would think, what a son of a peach, you know? I've worked so hard on this. They just canceled everything like nothing. Even though it might sound unrealistic, this is the problem that many engineers face on a regular basis. They work with product managers who push for a feature being done or push for a particular problem being solved to end up having no users using that feature. And then at some point, they even ask you, hey, let's clean this up. We want that feature gone. Please remove it. That's why you should always work with an MVP first approach. And you're probably wondering, what is an MVP? Well, the acronym stands for minimum viable product. That means building a solution that works, that solves a user problem, that brings value with the minimum effort possible. Spending a little time from engineering work, spending a little time from UX work. It's about building what's right. It's about building something that makes sense. The whole concept of an MVP is built around the user. However, the impact of an MVP is on the team and the company. In the case of the team, because the team preserves a high morale. They're working on something that matters. When they are working on something that ends up not mattering, they haven't invested a lot of time. But this is how the MVP helps keeping a team motivated, working on what's right. They'll know, hey, we're actually going to test the waters before we decide whether we continue with something or not. In the case of the company, it's about saving money. It's not about being stingy. It's about where do you allocate resources. You want the engineers working on the features that make money. You don't want them to be working on perfecting a feature where the user just clicks whether the result is a 1 or a 0, changing a state. They won't care about how fancy something looks as long as they have their problem solved. Now, once you do have a problem solved, then you might iterate, make that feature a little bit better. And the way that I do this is I normally document what it is that I want to do with an MVP and then what it is that I want to do after I have the MVP. Depending on the type of company that you're working in the case of a larger company, an MVP may be used for a specific feature. In the case of a startup, an MVP might englobe a complete finished product, something that you'll release to your users to test out, to see if whether the business makes sense. What is the purpose of an MVP? The main purpose is to contrast an idea or a hypothesis. That means you think, okay, there's this user problem, I want to solve it, and I want to know whether my solution is covering that problem. So rather than going all the way and building for a full year, you just want to be quick, you want to be lean, you want to have something ready, test it out, and seeing whether your users like it or not. So you build something simple, something small, something achievable, something that works, something that your user will appreciate. It's about building whilst minimizing the effort. Now, when I talk about minimizing the effort, I'm not referring to building garbage either. Come on, let's put a little bit of common sense into this. It's about building something that makes sense, that looks decent, and that will get the problem solved. Once the problem is solved, my users are happy with this, I iterate. What are some examples of an MVP? Well, here, for example, this is a finished product on this side. Do you recognize it? Yes, famous Airbnb, huh? This is how it started. This was the MVP version. Did that stop users from using it? No. This is another famous one. You know this one, right? Yeah, this is how it looks now, but this is how it started. It just had one case of use, one specific target audience, and it looked like this. Now, this is one that I actually can very much relate to. This is the finished product, like a waterproof backpack, and this is the MVP. Actually, if I'm sincere, I've had to walk with my backpack, like either hopping off a dinghy or a Zodiac, and being afraid that it's gonna fall in the water, and I'm not as fancy as this solution. I actually would put it in a garbage bag and just take it out with the garbage bag so it wouldn't get wet. I still don't rely on those waterproof solutions because they look like you're going to the military for a season. So MVP represents the concept of trade-off. It's about getting something ready in exchange of maybe not having the ideal design, not having every single feature. It's about solving a problem with the minimal effort possible, deciding what are the right problems to solve. You need to have the similar mindset when it comes to building product for a company. It's not about building the perfect looking solution. It's about building a solution that works, that looks decent. And then you'll iterate and make something better. You can always make it better. It's not like you're building a mega construction in the middle of Dubai with cement and fixed structures. You can change. This is tech. This is a digital solution. You can talk to your engineers, iterate, grow, change. Just build something simple and then you'll iterate. Let's look at an example. Imagine you want to build a booking system for small businesses. Think of a business in the shape of hair salon, barbershop, tax accountant. I don't know. Someone that doesn't need an over-engineered solution, but they still need a solution for their problem. In that case, you need to think about what are the features that the user are going to need. They need to be able to book an appointment, cancel an appointment. At the beginning, they might not need to edit an appointment. They can just cancel it and create a new one. Yeah, users are not used to this anymore. But whenever they want to get a problem solved, that is more than enough. You don't need to create a full AI chatbot for them to talk to make that appointment. You need to focus on what's important. For example, one thing that is non-negotiable is for the venue to be able to change appointment slots, like the availability of those slots. Like they need to be able, for example, if they forgot that there was a public holiday on a specific day, they need to be able to change those slots. It shouldn't be like fixed forever, you know? They need to be able to modify it so that no customer shows in their door on the day that they're closed and leaves a bad review somewhere. By the way, reviews, this brings me to another topic. Should it have something like a review? Well, you can already leave a review on Google Maps. So do you really need to have that review initially on your product? Maybe not. If that is your presentation card, if a user will see your website or will see your booking system before they see your Google Maps page, in such case, yeah, pull the API that gives you the official review of your product. However, if a user is going to find you on Google Maps and then they go to your booking system from a link, you don't need that. They already saw your reviews. Build a product that solves the problem, that allows them to book, and then create a workflow that triggers them to leave a review on Google Maps. You need to identify what's critical for your users. It's not about building everything. You don't need everything. You just need what's important. Get the idea built with the least effort possible. Think of MVP as most vague prototype, like the simplest thing you can do to get the problem solved. Imagine you need to sign a super important paper, like a messenger came through your door, you have no pen, and they need you to send this paper signed because, I don't know, you just won the lottery and you need to sign the acceptance of that lottery or the prize goes away. Are you gonna say no to a pen offer just because it's not a Mont Blanc? I don't think so. You're probably gonna say, oh, a big wonderful signature and gone, ship it, gone, done. This is done, finished. When you negotiate what it is that you get done in that MVP, just make the right requirements and ask your UX designer to follow up with it. They're not going to be happy, obviously not. Then they'll probably ask for something in exchange. They'll say, hey, please, let's add this animation in here, or let's make this button do this thing in here. Something that is completely useless to you, but to them it's important because maybe it releases a dopamine hit in the user or something else. So you hand it to them. You say yes, you give it to them. Why? Because this is quid pro quo, my friend. They do something for you and you do something for them. They give in a little bit, you give in a little bit. This is like a negotiation. It's about finding a common interest. They don't get to do their ideal design. Well, in exchange, they get to do something that you normally wouldn't go for. Same happens when you're working with engineers. It's not always about what is important for you as a product manager. Just because you lead the product doesn't entitle you to say, oh, it's everything that I want. It is teamwork, not a dictatorship. So forget about what is important for you, what it is that you want, and think about the full team, about the dynamic, about how you want to keep the team motivated. It's allowing them to feel like they're working on something that matters, that they're able to do something that is important for them as well. When you're in a leadership position, the last person you should be caring about is yourself. You care about the team, how they feel, what's important for them, and you give in a little bit. Once you see that a feature is being used, you can always iterate. You can make it a little bit better. You can make it look better. You can make it sound better. You can make it whatever you want better. But initially, you don't need to go that far. Sometimes you will not iterate. You build the MVP, you see that it works, there's no complaints, no nothing. Why change it? Why make it even better? It already works. It solves the problem. You then go to the next problem that matters. You don't focus on making it perfect. Ready is better than perfect. Solve another problem for your users and they'll be loyal. It is more important sometimes to get something ready. I believe that is the concept Amazon has. However, when you look at the UI, you're like, ugh. If you use AWS, you know what I'm talking about. It is a nightmare. This is about having the basic functionality covered. Just build something that matters, solve that user problem, bring value by solving that problem, and invest little effort. If you enjoy this content, feel free to like. If you have any remark, just write a comment. And if you think this can help someone, feel free to share. Thanks a lot and have a good day.